Joy is fuel, and without it, everything else falls apart. Welcome to the Around the Dirt Coffee Talk. I'm your host, BJ Johnson, and every week we're serving up a hot cup of truth, strategy, and motivation for players, parents, and coaches in the bat and ball community. So grab your coffee, settle in, and let's talk. Welcome back, Coffee Talk family. Last week, we spoke about a topic about pressure and nerves, the butterflies, the big moments, and why kids sometimes freeze up when the lights get bright. And that episode lit up my inbox. So that means that many of you are walking through this topic with your athletes right now. So today we're going to tackle another side of mental health in youth sports, one that I think scares parents and coaches the most: burnout. And let me be clear, burnout doesn't happen because your kid is weak, soft, or lazy. Burnout happens when kids love a game but get buried under the weight of expectations, overscheduling, and the belief that this sport is their whole identity. With my younger daughter, Mia, who's now playing Division I softball, there was a point where even though she loved the game, she hit a wall. I mean, you could see it in her body language. The joy wasn't there. She was going through the motions, showing up because she had to, not because she wanted to. That's when I realized even the most dedicated athletes can burn out if we don't protect their love for the game. And on the flip side with Catalina, my oldest, I'll be honest, I didn't always get it right. I pushed her too hard, too fast, thinking I was doing the right thing. I thought pressure would build toughness, and instead it chipped away at her joy. She was what I call my sacrificial lamb in that sense. So what does burnout actually look like in baseball and softball? Well, maybe your kid used to sprint to the cage. Now they drag their bat bag to the car. Maybe they make excuses like, my arm hurts, my stomach hurts, I don't feel like it today. Maybe they're snappy, irritable, or you notice changes in their sleep or schoolwork. The signs are there, but sometimes we miss them because we're too focused on the results. And here's the sneaky part. Burnout isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's identity driven. When your kid starts to believe if I'm not good at softball, I'm not good at anything, that's when burnout gets dangerous. There are two big reasons why burnout shows up. One, overtraining and scheduling. Year-round ball, no off-season, tournaments back-to-back, lessons stacked on practice. The body wears down, but so does the mind. Number two, identity lock-in. When all they hear is, that's our pitcher, that's our cleanup hitter, kids start to believe that's all they are. And the second they slump, their whole self-worth takes a hit. Parents and coaches, hear me out. Our kids are athletes, yes, but they are also sons, daughters, siblings, students, artists, musicians, and friends. They can love the game without being defined by the game. Sports psychologists will tell you kids are resilient, but the brain needs balance. Without balance, motivation turns into obligation, and that's when the joy begins to fade. And here's the kicker. Studies show that athletes who take breaks and play multiple sports often have longer careers than the ones who specialize early in a year-round grind. More games doesn't always mean more growth. All right, so how do we help? One, we need to schedule rest. Just like pitchers have pitch counts, or athletes need rest counts. Build in true off days. Rest is not weakness, it's training. Two, multiple sport play. Let them play basketball or badminton or volleyball. Movement variety makes better athletes, and the joy of competing in different arenas brings the fun back. And three, joy checks. After games, skip the stat talk, ask, what was fun today? Or what was the funnest thing you saw at the field? That reminds them why they started playing. And four, identity beyond the jersey. Celebrate grades and friendships and hobby and art and music, anything outside of the field. Don't let their value get locked into batting averages or ERA. 5, normalize breaks. Taking a week off isn't quitting, it's recharging. Even the pros have an off season, so why shouldn't your 12-year-old? Let me give you some real life do's and don'ts. Don't guilt your athlete for wanting a weekend off. Do, frame it as great athletes train hard and rest smart. Don't make the car ride home about box scores. Do, talk about effort, attitude, and little moments of joy. Don't overschedule every second with tournaments, lessons, and extra cage time. But do remember the backyard, the cul-de-sac, and even wiffle ball games can be just as much love for the sport as private lessons. Let me tell you what I've seen inside of SFS. I've seen athletes come in who are unbelievably talented, but they're drained before they even start. Parents will whisper to me, she's not loving it right now. And I'll ask the athletes, what's your favorite part about the game? Sometimes they don't even know how to answer that question. That's when I know it's not the swing that needs work, it's the heart. And I'll be honest, when a kid leaves the cage smiling, laughing, or saying, that was fun, I consider that session just as successful as one where we fix their mechanics. Because joy is fuel, and without it, everything else falls apart. So here's my challenge for you this week. Do a joy check. After each practice or game, ask your athlete, what is that one thing that made you smile today? Write those answers down for 7 days. And I promise you, it'll open your eyes to what your child values most about the game. You might realize it's not always the wins. This was part 2 of our mental health series, Burnout, Identity, and Keeping the Joy Alive. Next week, we'll dig into the climate parents and coaches create, because the environment you build can either protect your athlete's mental health or crush it. I'm BJ Johnson, and remember, we're not just raising athletes, we're raising humans. See you next week. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Coffee Talk. Subscribe to our channel and connect with us on social media to keep the conversation going. Ready to grow the game we love? Join us at aroundthedirt.com. The bigger our community, the stronger the game. Play ball, connect all.